Ever drop some food on the floor? Just put some hand sanitizer on it. Make it right clean. Welcome to the 365 vlog. So hey guys, today is March 18th, 2016, day 78 of the 365 vlog, and we're continuing our week of substance abuse talks. Kinda awkward, but this is not a substance, this is maybe a mental condition. Kinda. Let's go. So in today's talk about substances, well, not lack thereof of substances, we're gonna talk about gambling. And why I want to talk about gambling is because it's something that I do slightly dabble in, but I try to not get too into. And I feel like there's a lot of mental instability that comes with being like a true hardcore gambler. I'm not a hardcore gambler. I'm just one of those that may, in short stretches, spend a little bit too much money on something when I know I shouldn't. But the hope and prosperity that is involved in winning is what drives me. Now let's get more into this. So I mean, every day there's certain gambles that we take: walking outside, trying to eat food and not die, and then there's spending money on scratch cards or the lottery or going to a casino. The latter of the list, or the beginning part of the list, is the more mundane stuff, the stuff that we can't control. But gambling in a sense is something that we do have control over to a degree, but not in its entirety, because a lot of the odds are stacked against us. Now, if you're a probability wizard, major, or just someone who likes numbers, this may come really easy to you, knowing that the odds are usually not in your favor to win. However, that one in whatever chance is what drives the person to want to gamble. So it starts off simple enough. Maybe you start with a few scratch cards, maybe you build up to the lottery, whichever is your poison that you like to deal. But then it gets a little more insidious as you go into like maybe a casino. But actually, let's go back a little bit and go back to the scratch cards and the lottery. That in itself is actually pretty insidious and is a predator to all people who are in low socioeconomic status. Because what it does is that it gives people in that situation the hope that they can get out of it to live the lives that they see on TV. It's all the aspirations and all the drive that is fueled by money that feeds into that. I wish that I could be this. If I just had this, my whole life would be all different. It won't change now, but it'll change once I have this money. And that mindset, that little thought can snowball, especially if your circumstances or surroundings aren't that great and aren't going to get better anytime soon. Best way to do this is to get rich quick. And let's say you try a couple of times and you fail, but you keep trying because you're like, it just takes one time, and you keep feeding into that system, but not feeding back into yourself if you don't go over your means. But then some people can snowball and it'll just get too bad, and then there's nothing you can really do at that point but just keep feeding the wheel and keep feeding it and just keep running it, trying to hope that you can eventually get off of it because you'll hit it big, but that's not you. And I think it's just the dream. Being sold a dream is what motivates the person to buy into that. And I think that's just one side of gambling when it comes to maybe people in low socioeconomic standings, or just people who maybe believe in that gambling. And I guess the same would go hand in hand with casinos, but that's a different type of clientele and people in general, which I can't speak to because I don't live in that. So I'll stick more to the Arab side of how detrimental scratch cards and the lottery can be to people, but also in another way can actually be uplifting or at least inspirational to one degree. I think though that maybe if you're able to look past it and try and figure out other ways of investing in yourself and think of maybe the long term rather than the short one win, maybe if you thought a little more long term, not even thinking about long term, but just not giving into a false hope that actually has no basis in actuality. It's just more of a flimsy maybe, and rather than a solid I'm gonna try and invest in this or try and save money. Granted, maybe you don't have the money to actually save up and do all these nice things that you'd like to do, so why not spend $1 here, $5 here, $20 here? You'll get back maybe $500, and that $500 can pay your bills and do all these other nice things rather than the lavish things. And who knows, maybe it might hit it big and it might be great. But as you can hear in my sentences, everything's maybe if possibly. It's not certain. And nothing is really certain in the world, but there are steps that you could take better to invest your money and not feed into the wheel, I think. But then where do you get your hope from and your aspirations? But I think it comes from maybe community building and people finding it within themselves to reach for the things that they want. But I'm not an inspirational person in that sense that just go get what you want because you'll get it. It takes time. It takes time to do these things, and that's the hard part to realize. I think even like when I realized during the lottery, I felt a lot of those feelings that I'm talking about now, the hope, the wants, that if I had this, my life would be totally different kind of thing. That's why everybody went into it, because the money was so big that you couldn't even fathom to imagine to have such type of money. And that's the scary part, because you've never been a person with that much money. So just coming into it, maybe like a kid who's never eaten a really decent meal and just eats so much and throws up, and you'll fuck your whole life up. But that's another thing in and of itself. I don't know. That's some heavy shit to like think on, but I think maybe gathering your perspective together and finding a way to still get what you want, but do it in the most practical way possible, and always exploring other options. This may be one of them, but maybe take that $5 and just hold it each week, maybe that you get from your paycheck, and increase on it each other time, and then see how it builds up, rather than just throwing it there and then getting maybe a few in returns or no returns at all. But then again, it just goes back to hope. Hope is a powerful thing that drives people, and if you take away someone's hope, you've taken away all their reason, all their will to do. So this is just like one of the cogs in the mechanism that I'm going to peg in my little thing of institutional racism to a degree, but it is a predator in that whole cog that keeps the whole wheel moving. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video and some of my thoughts on gambling. I'll come back to it in another vlog and talk more about my other thoughts in it, and maybe dive a little bit deeper and look within myself what exactly I'm actually talking about in this video. But if you made it to the end of this video and you are a gambler, I have a 50-50 chance that you'll hit that like button. Yeah, hit it. So, and also, if this is your first time seeing my face, this will not be the last, because I make new videos every day. So I hope you guys enjoy them, and this wide angle lens that I put up for you guys today, I really like it. It's really nice. Yeah. So, question of the day: why do you gamble? What motivates you? What's the lure of it all? Why are you the fish on the hook? And did you think you actually won a prize at that time, or do you feel like you spent more than you should have? What are your thoughts on gambling? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. But anyways, guys, keep it 365, and until next time, I am Vandal, so I will see you guys later. Peace. Bye.